Good afternoon, children. Today I am taking a class 6 standard, teaching a poem, Sympathy. Open your textbook, page number 32, Sympathy. Dear children, do you know so many adjectives, qualities, good qualities? We are cultivate good qualities. Humanity have human being, not only human being, living beings, means animals and birds also have a humanity, that's a have a developed, they have also a good qualities like that. Do you know some good qualities like that? Sincere and gentleness, cheerful, personality, generosity, wise, courageous, honest, good behavior, truthful, obedience, and love, affection, peace, courtesy, this type of, and so on. So many have good qualities we have developing our day-to-day life. We have give respect to our elders, parents, teachers. This type we are good habits we cultivate. We are developing in our daily life. Here, the poet Charles Mackay, he tells us gold is precious and great. Gold is precious and great. Precious means ಅಮೂಲ್ಯವಾದ, ತುಂಬ ಪ್ರಮುಖವಾದ, importance. Gold is precious and great, but sympathy is more precious and greater than gold. See here, gold and money is precious, but gold and money is not as precious as good qualities or humanity. Here we acquire knowledge, we cultivate, we our behavior, good attitude. Character is more important than beauty. This also, hey, you are remember, character is more important, beauty is not. Like that, here sympathy is greater than gold or money. Dear children, see the textbook carefully. One story have given below. A sweet little girl sees a thin little bird in a park. She is filled with sympathy for the little bird. She thinks that the bird must be feeling very cold since it has no clothes. The bird too feels deep sympathy for the little girl. The bird thinks that the little girl does not have a single feather on her body, so she must be feeling very cold. Thus, both the little girl and the little bird shiver, thinking of each other's pain. Here have a good qualities. They have also good qualities. See here. A sweet little girl see a thin little bird in a park. In a park, a little girl watching, observing a bird have there near the park. She filled with sympathy. She have sympathy for that bird. She shows sympathy to the bird, a little bird. She thinks that bird must be feeling very cold. The bird may be suffering from cold because the little girl thinking that the bird don't have clothes, has no clothes. The bird have no clothes. That's why the bird have cold. She think She shows sympathy to the bird like this. Even though the bird also feel to the girl deep sympathy for the girl. The bird thinks that the little girl does not have a single feather on her body. She doesn't have a single feather on her body. Maybe she must feeling. She also feeling very cold. The bird think like that. Dear children, you can understand. You got it here. How the bird show the sympathy, thinking itself about the girl. And also a little girl, kids or children's hearts and animals and birds also innocence. They don't know the cheating or betraying like that. They are innocence. They are thinking innocence. They are both are thinking, both are showing sympathy one another. Thus both the little girl and the little girl and the little bird shivering thinking of each other's pain. Both are understanding their pains. Their pains. Here, like that, another illustration, another example the poet gives here. Here, a poet have suffering some pain. One a rich man helping to the poet, and another poor man also helping to the poet. Show a sympathy. How? What's the manner? Rich man showing a sympathy to the poet. How can he show the sympathy? Rich man, how can he show the sympathy to the poet? And also, poor man also show sympathy to the poet. We are observing here. I lay in sorrow, deep depressed, my grief a proud man heard. His looks were cold, he gave me gold, but not a kindly word. In first stanza, I lay in sorrow. I means poet. Poet, sorrow, in sorrow. He was in sorrow. Deep depressed, deep disappointment, bored, depressed. He was in sorrow. He was in sorrow. My grief, a proud man heard. His grief means too much pain. He was suffering from pain. A proud man heard. A rich man heard. Listen, observe. How was the poet in trouble? How was he suffering grief, pain? He heard. His looks were cold. He gave me gold. He gave some gold to the poet. Here he was observing. Poet was suffering from some trouble, some problem. So he gave some gold to the poet. But not kind words. But don't speak any one word. Don't show mercy or consoling words, giving suggestion or nothing. But give money, gold only. My sorrow passed, I paid him back. The gold he gave to me, then stood erect and spoke my thanks. Then the rich man gave gold to the poet. Then the poet also straightly say thanks to the rich man. My sorrow passed, continuous. His sorrow continues. I paid him back. The gold he gave to me. Gold he gave to me. Then stood erect and spoke my thanks. The poet doesn't want to take gold by the rich man. Strictly, straightly, directly, he say, no thanks, take back your gold. and blessed his charity. I lay in want and grief and pain. A poor man passed my way, he bound my head, he gave me a bread. He watched me night and day. In first stanza, means second stanza, a rich man gave a gold to the poet. He doesn't speak any merciful, sympathized words. Then he doesn't want to take a gold, but thankful to the rich man and say, thanks for your blessing and charity. Charity means generosity. Give a helping hand by giving some gold. No, I don't want. No need. You take back the poet. Give back to the thanks to rich man. Again in third stanza, another person, a poor man, a lay in a want and grief and pain, a poor man passed my way. When poet was standing or sitting there, no, a poor man walking and way on the way, he passed on the way and he was suffering. The poet was grief, pain. Want means poverty. He was not a rich man. He was in poverty. He was in grief. The poet was in grief. Poor man. He bound my head. He gave me bread. A poor man came to near the poet and bowing a head and give some bread to the poet. Give some bread. He watched the day and night. He take care of the poet. Watch him. He take care of him. Take care of the poet day and night. Here, dear children, you are observing in second stanza how was treat the rich man to the poet, and third stanza a poor man how he treat the poet. You are what was the difference between both here? How shall I pay him back again for all he did to me? Oh, God is great, but greater far is heavenly sympathy. How shall I pay him back again? The poet thinks that the poor man take care of him day and night and gave some bread and show sympathy to the poet. That's why the poet say, how shall I pay him back again? How can what I give back him? What I repay to the poor for all he did to me? He take care of me. All he did, everything he did for me, for sake of me. Oh, God is great, but greater far. Greater far means very much is heavenly sympathy. Oh God, you are great. You are great. How is the poor man give sympathy? Give sympathy. It is heavenly sympathy. He is a poor man like a heaven. Heaven means God. He is like a God because God is great. He is like a God. He is like a heaven sympathy. That's why the poet say here, how is the sympathy and gold? Here the poet comparison made comparison here, dear children, gold. That's why I am saying here, gold is precious and great. Gold is precious and great, but sympathy is more precious than gold. More precious, greater than gold. Here we are also this type of attitude, dear children. You are developing this type of attitude in your life. You also show sympathy who are poor people who are in trouble. You also giving a helping hand. In this poem, humanity, the rich man don't have humanity. He gave attention only money and gold, but a poor man console the poet. How he show the sympathy to the poet. We are observing here how you are, which one you are adopting your life. You are treating others like a poor man. And also, before this poem, one small incident here have a little girl and a bird, how both are sharing and showing sympathy one another. You are observing here. Okay. We also, you also show sympathy to the poor people or who are in pain. That is mankind. That is human value. That is also quality. Qualities, good qualities. Okay. Thank you, children. I will stop there. Oh my God.